What stops us not achieve potential is fear of failure, fear of what other people will say. So if I ask you for love, you first have to have self-love. Only then you can share the love, right? Am I a better person today than I was yesterday? Whatever you are today is because of what you have thought. These two words, which I often talk about, one word is called chitta and the other word is called chinta. What's the difference between the two? Funeral pyre is chitta and chinta, overthinking, worry. The thing is, chitta can only burn you once at the end of your life. But chinta, if you let it go untethered, is going to burn you throughout your life. Think about it. So because of that, we want tools to get over our chinta, right? If you go to a doctor and say, I can't sleep at night, doctor, what does he give you? But he'll give you Serenase, which is serotonin, which is a prescribed drug. What is it? It's made out of this happiness chemical called serotonin. And you can get that just by meditating. If every day you take 10 minutes to yourself, to keep to yourself, for a concentration practice, for a silent centering, positive affirmation practice, you will be releasing serotonin into your mind and you won't need Serenase to fall asleep. Whatever you are is a result of what you have thought. You remember this phrase, the Buddha said it. I don't know how many of you have heard it. Whatever you are today is because of what you have thought. If you say I can, you will. And if you say I can't, you won't. And whatever you think, you become. That's why they say, right? Am I a better person today than I was yesterday? So in mental wellness and in mindfulness practices, we always close our day with 2 minutes of self-reflection. So if I ask you for love, because as women, we're supposed to spread love everywhere, you first have to have self-love. Only then you can share the love, right?
So the paragraph reading that happened, we were asked to be patient or listen quietly until they know their voice slows down or whatever. So we have to take in, we have to suppress our feelings. So when do we know we draw a line over there? We cannot keep doing this day in and day out, right? There must be some.
We absolutely can't be doormats and we can't take any kind of abuse, right? And this mental abuse is also part of things we want to avoid. So if at some point you feel enough is enough, I would suggest don't raise your voice. Raise your body instead and leave the room. And take a green walk in nature and quietly come back and talk about it. And you say to them, you know what, I'm worried that I'll say something I will regret. And so I'm just going to step out, breathe and come back. Say it. Most human beings have a lot of understanding when we say it that way. Try that, it helps.
My mother has been a people pleaser all her life. Dedicating her life to, her in-laws family, and again for her kids and everything. Mm-hmm. And I think that even I have got that from her. People pleasing, trying hard to say no and feeling guilty after saying no, right? That what if that, right? So how do we come out of that guilty conscious of not feeling bad for saying no and just building that, that boundary with that person?
You can be pleasing without trying to be a pleaser. Just change the ending a little bit. So the way to do it is, you learn to say an affirmative not no with a solution. Please try it and see where it goes and let me know.
Withdrawing ourselves from people who drain our energy or people who are not our ones. Mm-hmm. So what if that person is you? I mean, if the person who's draining you is you, or the people who are setting high standards for ourselves is us and the others.
Yes, I got your question. Because you have to replace the negative thinking with positive thoughts. You have to keep telling yourself what is possible and not what is not possible. So if you work on your mind, they say your mind can do more good to you if it's well trained than your mother, your father, your loved family. And your mind that's untrained can do worse harm to you than your enemy or someone who hates you. So only work on your mind. That's my only answer. Wish there was another answer in the book, but there isn't one. That's the only answer.
This is a very important question. I'm pretty sure folks here are also thinking about this. Would love to just be Ranjini ma'am, but what happens is when we take a vacation and we want to just be, we are having that, and the moment we come back, that entire there was a very apt depiction of I want to say women and a dog, and that's exactly how it is. And the productivity guilt kicks in and we just can't just be. How do we tackle that?
So you just got to make it a high priority. And when you go on a vacation, guess who traveled with you to that vacation? Your mind. Can't leave that behind. And when you came back, guess who came back with you? Your mind. So bring the vacation mind for at least 10 minutes a day to have that ease of breathing and that ease of being. And then the rest of the crazy day happens. And that's why I wanted to give you the second tool today of the power phrase to use, because that helps you when you come back with guilt and productivity. When you're shifting from one subject to the next subject, squeeze in 5 power phrases in the middle, and then go to the next subject, and then to the next meeting, and then to the next project. See how much better you become. It's proven by neuroscience, whatever I'm saying. Champion a woman, she will build the nation.